Welcome to the fourth video about our upcoming expansion, Götterdämmerung. I'm Peter Nicholson, Game Director for Hearts of Iron, and today we're finally going to talk about one of the most anticipated updates in Hearts of Iron 4. None other than the revamped Germany focus tree and systems. Germany's getting a rework with a plethora of new mechanics. These changes are part of the broader German rework included in the DLC, and for now we're going to focus on the shared mechanics along with the historical branch. After the defeat in the Great War, harsh stipulations were put on Germany, with the Treaty of Versailles causing resentment and severe economic hardship. Hyperinflation and political instability defined the early 1920s, and the Great Depression in 1929 led to rising support for extremists like the Nazis. By 1936, Adolf Hitler had become the absolute ruler of Germany and started to rearm, thus violating the Treaty of Versailles. Germany, however, was far from ready for a global conflict when they invaded Poland, and we've made adjustments to better reflect that. You'll now need to focus on building up their strength with new national spirits and focuses. The economy, and each branch of the military, Heer, Kriegsmarine, and Luftwaffe, face their own unique challenges. Hell-bent on becoming self-sufficient, Hitler launched the four-year plan in 1936, aimed at rapidly strengthening Germany's industries to support a swift rearmament. Central to this effort were the MEFO Bills, which covertly financed military expansion in violation of the Treaty of Versailles. While effective in the short term, this financial scheme was unsustainable and contributed to Germany's growing economic instability, ultimately pushing the nation towards war. Though the four-year plan provides you immediate strength, it leaves you vulnerable to the mounting pressures of paying your bills. In the new system, these bills will now more accurately reflect the strain, slowing down Germany's early military build-up and encouraging a more aggressive, expansionist strategy. As Germany rearms, the percentage of consumer goods factories dedicated to civilian production, will increase each month, eventually reaching a factor of 100%. This rising percentage represents the growing burden on Germany's economy, as all of your available resources are redirected to the war effort. You can, however, manage this through price controls, which temporarily slow the increase, but it's only a short-term fix. Eventually, with Germany's economy stretched to its limits, you'll need to go to war. By doing so, you'll switch out the bills to Economy of Conquest, which allows the seizure of gold and banking reserves from capitulated nations. This temporarily reduces the consumer goods factories, depending on the number of factories in the conquered country's core states. However, seizing reserves increases resistance in occupied territories, adding a further layer of difficulty. After securing enough resources by conquest, Germany can stabilize its economy by achieving autarky, replacing the economy of conquest with a more sustainable Wirtschaftswunder. The non-historical industrial path starts by prioritizing economic growth. This path will ruin your economy, but down the line, you can rebuild it stronger than ever. In pure numbers, you'll get more factories from this path, but they will take longer to come by. You even get more building slots, leaving room for even more factories. The trade-off is that the focuses take longer to complete and are locked behind tech and other various factors. The updated focus tree is somewhat larger than the old one, so you'll need to prioritize carefully. With Götterdämmerung, Germany now starts with fewer generals and field marshals, but more can be unlocked through various focuses in the army branch. The important choice in this branch is how you want to shape your army. Do you want to expand upon the lessons from the Great War? Or do you want to rely on the more historically accurate new technology and tactics using tanks? Both options will offer different results to each other and will unlock different generals. Going down the Prussian legacy path will allow you to modify your state to bolster your military for a short while. Bewegungskrieg is of course meant to simulate Germany's Blitzkrieg during World War II, but this time represents a more traditional approach to the practice. The Blitzkrieg state modifier puts an emphasis on tank warfare. While the Blitzkrieg state modifiers might not last as long as the Bewegungskrieg one, they're packing quite a punch nonetheless. Choosing to develop your panzer forces will unlock two familiar faces, Erwin Rommel and Heinz Guderian. While your land warfare strategy is vital, the air war also plays a critical role in Germany's success. The key decision here is how to specialize the Luftwaffe. Will you follow the historical path, emphasizing dive bombers and CAS, or instead prioritize tactical and strategic bombers? To fix the Luftwaffe's problems, you'll need to reorganize the Luftwaffe and solve logistical bottlenecks, but not while Göring is in charge. If you decide that you don't need him, you'll unlock Helmut Wilberg, who historically played a major role in developing German air warfare and combined arms tactics. While there's limited room to improve the Luftwaffe, you'll gain significant bonuses towards special projects for rockets and jets, along with numerous timed ideas and the highest number of aces in any focus tree. The naval branch works slightly differently from other branches. This time, there are no mutually exclusive choices, but you'll still need to prioritize. Once you start Plan Z or trade interdiction, the other path is locked until you complete either the High Seas Fleet or unrestricted convoy raiding. After finishing one of these focuses, the opposite path will be unlocked. In the end, though, you'll get a much stronger Kriegsmarine, and completing Seeherrschaft yields even further benefits. As you've already seen, we've expanded the historical path for Germany quite a bit, and changed existing focuses. We've built the new focus tree around the core of the old one, so that some things will still be familiar. We've also added new icon frames, meant to help players understand which focuses were historically taken. They act as a visual guide. Since this focus tree is pretty big, we wanted to highlight and differentiate the historical path from alt history options. The frames are optional, and can easily be turned on and off. The political branch still begins with remilitarize the Rhineland, but from there you can choose different paths for the Reich. You might focus on re-establishing old German colonies in Asia and Africa, invade the United States from the west, or secure trade deals in the Middle East. The Far Eastern path lets you reclaim old colonies and decide whether to align with China or Japan, setting the stage for future conflicts with the Soviets or the USA. When it comes to the Soviet Union, the focus largely remains the same, with the alliance with the USSR now limited to 2 years. This short-lived alliance gives you time to focus on the Western Front before inevitably turning your attention to the Eastern one. In Europe, focuses like Operation Sea Lion and a revamped Anschluss await, along with diplomatic options to sway countries to your side if you'd rather not crush them with your panzers. A key decision involves choosing between Ribbentrop's reorganization of the Wehrmacht, leading to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and the dismissal of several generals, or siding with von Neurath and preparing for future wars without Soviet cooperation. Once you've made this choice, you'll move on to Anschluss, which now has higher requirements, though Austria's military remains weak and poorly equipped. With Austria under your control, the world is yours to conquer. Added to the remilitarize the Rhineland focus is the bribe senior officers branch, which was a very real thing and part of the reason why so many generals remained loyal to Hitler. Going down this path will lead to a hefty amount of perks from your generals and in the scientific field. The new mechanics for Reichskommissariats add a unique layer to managing conquered territories. You unlock this system by completing the Uplift the Rosenberg office focus in the fascist branch. Alfred Rosenberg, who oversees these projects, won't appear as a typical advisor or national spirit. Instead, you'll find him in the decision category, with bonuses tied to his role that grows stronger as you create more and more Reichskommissariats. Now, why create these puppets rather than simply occupying the territory? Well, the MEFO Bills system makes direct control of non-core territories increasingly costly. Reichskommissariats offer you a solution, with their own leaders and national spirits providing various bonuses. You'll also get to choose between a German governor who excels at suppressing resistance and extracting resources, or a local collaborator better suited for gaining compliance. Reichskommissariats lack core territory, much like Italian East Africa. but their bonuses make up for it. They also introduce contested ownership, meaning they don't control a state unless you already occupy it. This prevents issues like skewing surrender progress, especially in campaigns like the invasion of the Soviet Union. Initially, you'll only have access to European Reichskommissariats, but later focuses can unlock similar states in other parts of the world. The Inner Circle is a brand new mechanic, unique for Germany. The Nazi government operated with two parallel bodies, the official government and the Nazi Party. These often clashed, with officials plotting against each other to gain Hitler's favour. Hitler is famed for encouraging this competition, as long as it served his interests. The overlapping roles between party officials and government institutions created a chaotic and conflicting administrative system. In the Inner Circle, the infighting and parallel administration within the Nazi regime are represented by allowing key figures to complete focuses in their own branches. You can work on multiple focuses simultaneously, but only 3 Reichsleiters can ascend and complete focuses at the same time. The interface is shaped like a pyramid, with Hitler at the top, and you can swap out which Reichsleiters ascend depending on your needs. Each Reichsleiter offers unique bonuses based on their historical roles, and their traits and effects are visible in both the focus tree and the national spirit tabs. It's important to note that while ascending Reichsleiters can give you advantages, it comes at a cost, with each one requiring a daily political power expenditure, which will increase as they complete more focuses. However, the party chancellor, whether Bormann or Hess, provides a daily political power bonus that helps offset these costs. Another key aspect of this system is the ultimate ability to replace Hitler with an alternative Führer like Himmler, Göring, Goebbels or Hess. To achieve this, you must have 3 Reichsleiters fully complete their focuses and then finish the "a strong successor" focus. This provides a new layer of political maneuvering, giving players different effects as they guide Germany down alternate historical paths, all the while decluttering the crowded political advisor list and allowing for more strategic flexibility. With the introduction of the Inner Circle, some changes have been made to the political advisor selection. Some of the more prominent historical figures, like Himmler, Goebbels and Speer, now belong to the new system instead of the old. The Germany rework has been one of the top requests for the community for a long time, and we've been working very hard to bring it to life. Next time, we'll talk about the new mechanic, raids. Thanks for watching.